Carrie, you removed all of your paintings from behind you. There's just one. I specifically put this up because I said Carrie Meeran's going to have all of her paintings behind her. Jason Downs, this is Carrie Meeran.
Hello.
Carrie's an artist in Vancouver. Jason's an artist, gallerist in Lincoln, Nebraska. What do you guys think about the topic? You know, one of the things is that when I'm painting, I listen a lot to YouTube. It's easy to take my phone and just set it aside. And I've been getting I get a lot of ads to marketing for artists. I wonder if that's happening to you guys as well.
Not as much, and I think maybe more for you because you're doing more videos about it. So everything's an algorithm. Everything's they see you as someone who's a mover and a shaker, and they want to get a hold of you, man.
I think it's the search engine optimization, hashtags. What about you, Carrie? Are you?
Yes, I receive like a plethora of these types of things on Facebook and a lot on Instagram as well. There's like art storefronts. Another one that they stream a lot, it's called The Trombonist, about monetizing your creativity. That one pops up a lot. That's like a paid seminar. I don't know if you guys seen that one. It's
I have
hilarious.
not seen called The Trombonist.
It's hilarious.
You might want to write that one down, Bill.
But that's funny because you're in music, you're on the guitar. So it's targeted you according to like your search engine.
Yes, absolutely. So I started zoning it out. When I first started, I was really naive. I don't know about you guys, but I was really naive to start out with. So I literally considered every offer and I was like, no, I don't know what this is. But now I just don't even really check. I don't even know, but it comes, it's always coming. So. Yeah.
Well, and I'm from a generation where this type of marketing was done in other ways. Since there wasn't a social media or other ways to reach people, they would advertise in magazines and stuff like that. You know, take the artist test to see if you could qualify, and then you take the test and they go, oh my gosh, you should come to our university and learn.
Come to this university and learn how to become a professional artist and learn how to navigate the field.
Hey, let's take a minute and welcome Cher to the group.
Okay.
Hi, Cher. Cher is an artist out of Portland, Oregon. Let's go back to art storefronts. That guy's, it's so funny. He apologizes for intruding on whatever you're doing online. He says, hey.
Okay, artists, photographers, I've interrupted you on YouTube and I apologize about that.
Artists, I'm sorry for interrupting. And he starts talking about his art marketing. Is this guy coming up in your feed, Cher?
He isn't really coming up in my feed, and my feed is pretty locked down, so I rarely get artists unless I open my little gateway. But I have seen it.
How do you limit your...
I restrict a lot of stuff through Google. I have a secure VPN. I have like a lot of lockdown stuff. I don't use Google. I don't use any of the Microsoft stuff. I use Brave. So it's like just a little tiny bit more secure. Plus, I'm not on many social media. I think the most I do is Instagram at this point, and I'm not even doing that very much.
You don't even do your own Instagram. Your daughter does your Instagram.
Yes.
Jealous.
Hey, Carson Roberts.
Hey, yeah, sorry, a little late.
How are you?
Good.
Carson is an artist from Portland, Oregon as well. Thanks for all being here. The reason why I thought that the five of us were a good match is because I think that we're all kind of on the same level. We're all exhibiting, we're running kind of our own show. Everybody's got their Instagrams up, their Facebooks up, their websites, Jason has given it a shot at running a gallery, but I think that all of us could probably, if we dropped $1,000 into the ethereal, I think we probably could all learn something from these people that are trying to target us.
Well, the reason we're getting these ads is because we are the product of watching and using the medium, and that is how we get targeted. And so the Droid Henrys of the world and the art storefronts of the world are the people, they're paying to reach us, but we're the ones that YouTube is selling, and we're the ones that Facebook is selling.
Yeah, I agree with that very much so. That's one of the reasons why I never did Facebook. I don't want to have all of the information about me and about how I pursue things, and I certainly don't want the people who follow me, their information available for Facebook to harvest as well. And in some ways, yes, my daughter does my Instagram when we do it, but Instagram is owned by Facebook also, so I'm actually rethinking my approach in using Instagram, and yeah, looking for other means, other social media sites to use that is a lot more friendly to the human and not to ad agencies and marketers and big corporations.
These ads that we're seeing, what's interesting is that a lot of those people aren't artists.
But the funny thing is, like, a really good analogy here is like with the popularity of being an entrepreneur is very similar to the idea that anyone and everyone can be an artist and sell however much they want. And these people that are marketing for you or saying that they can market for you is like, you know, Jordan Belfort doing like a entrepreneurial talk or like a motivation talk. You know, he's not an entrepreneur. He's currently not like a stockbroker or anything, but he's still giving you this idea. So it's funny. Like I'm sure it's useful for plenty of people, but it is kind of this thing where these marketers aren't necessarily artists. They just know the niche. They know who needs it. I mean, more of it is just more of hype, and you have to pay for like the secret sauce, you know.
Something I suspect the people behind this are the programmers sort of in maybe third world countries that are like gigging. It's a way that they make money. And so so they're just targeting. So they're not charging that much. That's what I've noticed. I think it's a lot from Asia and maybe like Eastern Europe, just in India. I think the programmers are just, but they don't know the real art market though, you know. So, but I can see it's a way they can make money to supplement other stuff.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's Droid here, Droid Henry from droidhenry.com. I help visual artists grow their following and get consistent sales online.
Has anybody watched Droid Henry's videos, YouTubes?
I did look at the people who were giving testimonials, and I actually thought that was interesting. They really didn't give any kind of example. Yeah. It was all very generic.
Yeah, it is weird that in a 33-minute conversation with his artists that they don't let any of his techniques drop.
Yeah, some type of confidentiality.
Maybe it's not a secret. Maybe once you learn it, you're like, really?
Right.
I paid $1,200 for that.
Is that what he charges?
Yes, which is discounted from $2,500 if you sign on right now.
I've done some research on it too. Apparently, he just wants you to give him a credit card over the phone too.
Yeah, that's really.
Any other thoughts on like Droid Henry? Has anybody looked at the Art Storefront's website?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like how that's laid out?
I mean, it's laid out well, but I mean, like I was saying, I mean, there's so many people that do the same thing. You know, when you search art marketing, there's tons of people are doing these types of storefronts. But one thing that they do really well at is the hundreds of features that they have on the website that you could possibly have, such as like, I think it was it called like AR, or like it's a virtual rendering of what your painting would look like on someone's wall. So they have your like camera hovering over the wall, and you can adjust the size and stuff like that. And really the selling of like the website and, you know, what you get from them is the fact that when people buy, it's not necessarily just because of one feature. It could be from numerous things. You know, someone wants to see it on their wall. Someone wants to email it to a friend or something like that. The way he put it was like there's frictions to purchasing, which totally makes sense. I mean, especially with art, and when we're talking about the value that's put behind it and the amount that people pay for it, you have to know exactly what you want. So that selling of all the features that they offer is super important. And I could see why that's super beneficial. But I mean, it's done everywhere.
See, it's almost like he's a programmer.
Yeah, it's more or less about like the nifty features and stuff like that. It's not necessarily about like artists. It could be for anything. You know, it could be for numerous different products, other than, of course, you like size it on your wall and stuff like that. But I mean, it's good. It is good. Absolutely. It's a tool.
What you're saying about some of those features, I have apps on my phone. There's an app called Art Placer.
Yeah.
And then he's programmed his website to basically offer you that same feature without getting somebody else's app.
Yeah, and about your product specifically, not about something else. There's this one profile specifically that I found from a Russian artist, but they like create a virtual gallery. So you like hold your phone up and you can like experience a gallery. Mm-hmm. Super interesting stuff. It brings you into like with art and with marketing. It's super overwhelming, but really it is just about like staying ahead of the curve
The one thing, Carson, that you mentioned that I think is important, perhaps to the entire conversation, is does this offer you something that you could not do for yourself?
Yeah.
For instance, some of those features that you're talking about, maybe you could do them for yourself after a few years of programming school and here and there, but you're like, hey, I'd like to use this today, right now, and so if it becomes helpful. But I don't think any artist who's out there, such as, and I've seen the interviews with you guys, you don't really need that push or that help to do something like that. And yes, in the case of where, what he was talking about, that show it on the wall thing, yes. Yeah. With Droid Henry, probably not.
Well, Droid Henry, like what he's doing is that he's skipping over the amount of time that it takes to learn how to market and get to your population. And I guess he's giving you something that you can't do yourself.
And I think what it really comes about is the fact that it's hard to know what to do, and following some type of curriculum, being told what to do is driving your path forward, rather than, being in one place and you're just bouncing back and forth, not really knowing where to go. I mean, people need the tasks. They need this organization to like
a focus.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's the curriculum at school or something like that. So that is just helps people out. It's also certainty too, thinking that I'm doing the right thing at least. So yeah, I mean, they definitely have structure to offer people, but I know that at a certain extent, it is just kind of a sell.
I guess one of the pieces that just comes to mind is because there's really not much information on what is on his website except, hire me, is the actual value of what it is he is providing aside from the testimonials. Because, if he is offering assistance with search engine optimization, do we really care about that? Is he going to provide information on how to target a market? Is he going to give us contacts, or is it like going to be coaching you how to talk to people? So I guess it really is depending on what you need, but not knowing what it is that is being offered it makes it really difficult not to think that it's a scam.
He has a video called "Is Droid Henry a Scam?" And he admits that he was trying to become an artist and he stopped because he found his niche in coaching.
Coming from a corporate setting, fine. You are constantly hiring consultants, but you know what they're going to do for you and you're asking them, you got to do this and I'm going to pay you that. And he's simply asking, here, give me $1,200.
He looks right out of a J.C. Penney catalog to me, but that's just me.
You're just like jealous.
It's that energy. Well, hey, just because I was Sears and he was J.C. Penney, I mean, no, but it's just he's got that energy look to him, that hey, a marketing look. If you've ever had a marketing job, he was your boss.
A salesman to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to be super critical of him though, because he's enjoyable. He's somebody that I think if I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, I mean, he's encouraging people to charge what their art is worth.
It's such a personal transition.
Well, so the thing is, I read his About Me, and he says that he had gotten scholarships, like $400,000 worth of scholarships. And
did he go to medical school?
No, for art. And he was going to go to Kansas University and all this stuff. But he decided not to because it was he didn't think it was gonna work out. It's inconsistent to me.
That makes no sense.
I'm not sure where to place it. Now, if he is just saying, I am a marketer and I will help you market your art, that is so much more honest. And then I would be rethinking you're not really a scam. You are going to help me market my stuff. But then I'd have all other kinds of questions to ask him, so I know where you're coming from.
Well, there are a lot of...
He does have a heck of a disclaimer at the bottom. He does not make any guarantees about your ability to get results or earn money with our ideas, information, tools, or strategies.
Are you looking at that right now?
I'm reading this. Nothing on this page, any of our websites, or any of our content or curriculum is a promise or guarantee of results or future earnings. Yeah. It's basically like it's up to you. I'm going to give you the framework and the outline of how to market. These are really good ideas. If you follow them, you could probably make some money, but I'm not going to guarantee it. So it's not like, talent is first, and then you got to market it. And So if you don't have any idea about the marketing, then these things could possibly teach you something, but that's nothing you couldn't learn for less than $1,200, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean,
Well, they always have an idea about placement, where to put something, who to sell it to. I mean, that's what you're looking for. You're ultimately, when you go to market, you're looking for who is my target audience. And if you don't have a beat on it, they'll try to find it. What is your key marketing word that's going to get you more hits?
That's why I said, like, people need that structure, to tell them what to do. Yeah. So maybe it's just one factor that you were missing. Not to say it's always just one factor. I mean, it's way too simple-minded, but, just a matter of like, hey, you have this strength, why not approach it this way? You're focusing on your online sales, nothing really else. But yeah, it's just the structure standpoint. I think that's the strongest thing about what he has to offer. And some people need it. I mean, shit, I feel like I need it a little bit,
Create the formula, put the input in, and then it spits it out, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might look at somebody who is successful that didn't use that method, and you're going to say what made them successful, and it was because they did some of the things that maybe this fella would teach you.
Yeah.
It's just trial and error. Like the amount of time that I've put into things falling flat and like not getting any results, but just it's reading and then like implementing and like
right. But if you're using the same taglines and you're getting a roughly the same every time, then you might just mix up your tags.
Oh yeah, like everything's very specific to like who.
Right.
I mean, also depends how much you spend on it too, how prevalent it's going to be, how long it's going to be out there, the likelihood that someone's going to see it, depending on how much they're on social media.
Are you guys spending money on advertisement?
I have. It is definitely interesting seeing the analytics and everything like that, get an idea of who your market is. Having more prints now available, I want to do more marketing, spend more money on it.
What do you mean available? Are they just in the corner of your studio?
Well, it's like, kind of coming up with the idea and knowing what I want to push for. Because I have found that there's a certain project that has always been the most popular. And now I'm trying to hone in on that kind of project and those types of concepts.
What about you guys? Are you paying for advertising?
Yes, I do with Facebook. Depends on, with projects. My audience is pretty targeted. So I do think my audience is affected just because I targeted so early on. So
are you talking about stipple or?
No, I target people who are over 30. Yeah, people who have homes.
Yeah, exactly.
I targeted a real estate agency. I wanted to see if I could get any results from specific people that were in this real estate company.
Or even stagers, people who stage houses for real estate companies.
I've done those shows.
All kinds of different weird places that you can market to, probably, that you might not think would hit something, and all of a sudden you're like, what?
I think there's more to it than just the hashtag, though. When you pay for Facebook advertising, it allows you to tweak where it's going and who it's going to, and you can actually put specific addresses.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're looking for a stager, you can actually put that person's name into the Facebook ad.
Really? Oh, wow. I wasn't aware of that.
I think that's what David Emmons did to me, because as soon as I interviewed him, he has been like nonstop on my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So he has to, I'm wondering if maybe he just put my name in. So that's why I did that experiment with the real estate agency. I wanted to see like what kind of results. And I actually did get some followers in the surrounding area, but those specific people didn't add me back. So I don't know. I only dropped like $5 and ran the ad for 5 days. So maybe they're not using social media, but I don't know, just keep going at it.
But right, and then you want to pay someone so you can just like, hey, this will fix my problem. This will make everything okay. And that's essentially what they're selling. Selling is the confidence, or is the idea that everything's going to be okay. Entering a new platform is frustrating, and you're just not sure if this is what I should even be doing, and is it worth it? Is this futile? But it takes a lot of determination. Absolutely. Just keeping it up.
The artist sells themselves, really, and people, when they buy an artist, they're buying usually someone they know, and someone that they can relate to, and someone, when they show it on the wall, they can say, hey, I know this person. There's a personal connection to that. So you have to build the base of that foundation, and it's up to you, because art is definitely a self-motivating business. But people want to know about the creative, and that's where you get more in depth, not just being, hey, this is me, this is my art, this is where I grew up, but more of like, these are some of the things that shaped me, and this is why I do this. These are the things I love. This is what I'm passionate about. That's what sells, because that has emotion. Passion has emotion. Do
you guys kind of worry that these types of things are drawing in sort of the younger people who don't know exactly what they're getting into, maybe?
Well, the one lady that I watched an interview with, she's like a mother and she's married. And he said that her husband was there on the initial consultation call. So I think he consulted with her before they paid for the program. And the husband was like, okay, do it. But I wonder how many people pay $1,200 and then just don't do the work. And so they fail, not because of him, but because they're just not doing what we're doing.
And the price is actually pretty strategic. It's a little bit, I mean, what is that is that about a course or a couple courses? It's like they made it a certain amount. I think some people probably, like you're saying, they don't do the work and then they just feel kind of guilty, but they move on.
I was wondering maybe we should buy a consultation and then I'll show up and just talk to him. Do you think he'd be willing to like have that recorded?
No.
Yeah. You don't think he'd do it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe sending him this video and asking him his opinion, seeing if he'll react.
Yeah. Yeah, just tell us what it is. Tell us that's legit. You gotta provide some proof. Come on.
Tell him that we will let him know our secrets if he gives us his secret.
Oh man, I don't even.
So it's kind of like a secret swap. You could kind of set it up like that.
We'll give him an Excel of our secrets if he gives us one of his.
But hey, if he can convince us, then he can convince anyone.
All right, you guys. Well, I think that this was a really cool artist panel, and I'm glad everybody.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely.
Thanks, you guys.
Always a pleasure.
See you guys.
Bye. Have a good night.
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 Hi guys, I hope you liked this video. If you guys like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and like.